Okay. Oh shoot, I need a new cloth. Crapola. All right. Hold please. I'm gonna go get myself a new cloth. Hang on, G. All right. Sorry, folks. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. We are going to finish vernishing these tea light candle holders. We are going to work on a couple of mugs. And we might... I gotta set my timer on my computer here. I've got a software update that's happening on my computer that I need to keep an eye on, because then I'll be able to finish uploading my pattern to my website. So now I also need to go to my screen saver. Desktop and screen saver. Let's do that. Nope. Nope. How do I put my computer to sleep? Require password, 4 hours. Sorry. I am coming back to you, I promise. Now, when does the screen go to sleep? Let's find out. Under displays, maybe? Night shift. Automatically shifts the colors of your display. That does me no good. Anybody have a Mac that knows how to change how long before your screen goes to sleep? Battery, maybe? There we go. Turn off display after. Ding. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I am in the process of completing a software update, and I am very, very excited to get this update done, because then I'll be able to complete my setup of my patterns on my website. Technology kicked my butt today and yesterday. Let's be real. Technology has kicked my butt. So, it is what it is. And now I'm waiting for an update. Why did that not start? Okay, there it is. All right. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, because if I can get that finished while we are sitting here hanging out together, then that just might be an option for today. Otherwise, we're just going to paint and paint and paint and paint and paint and paint. If that's okay with you guys. So why don't we start with, I'll do the second coat of varnish on these tea light holders. We come in and say hello. Oh, yay, Patty. That's wonderful. Hi, Anne. How are you? I found it. Thank you so much, Lightning Lizard. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Titu. How you doing? Oh, my gosh. That's so cool, Sabrina. That's amazing. Oh, if you post it on Instagram, you can tag me. Is that GBK Crafts? Thank you. Oh, that's so kind, Lisa. Thank you. Bonjour in France. Hello, Silly. How are you? Did I send it right after that? I got it right after. I was channeling you. I was channeling your advice. Ugh. I find that one of the ultimate things for me will be when you can actually sit down and just complete a project when you're in it, and then maybe one of these days I will accurately estimate how long it will take to finish these projects so that I don't start them and stop them at times where it probably is not beneficial. Hello in the UK. Good enough to paint? Fantastic, Anne. That we'll take what we can get, right? If you give it a try, Sabrina, I'd love to see it. There's your yellow one, Missy. Look, isn't she pretty? It's like when you complain that something's not working. Exactly, right? Yeah, the car never makes the sound when you take it to the mechanic, right? All right, so I'm using Mod Podge to seal these candle holders. So I am just going to put a little bit of Mod Podge in this palette. Ooh, that's probably way more than what I need. So I might even take some of that back. That should be all right. And now I'm going to add some water. Now, the reason I'm not using the same brush is because I have my water in a cup that I actually drink out of. So I'm going to use a clean paintbrush to add the water to the palette so that I don't eat glue. There we go. Adding a little water to the Mod Podge will help it spread a little bit easier. Wish I remember who told me that tip. I always think it was Daughter by Jade, but maybe it was Jenna. Might have been Jenna too. Jade Grons. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? I hope you're having a good Saturday. We're gonna fill in this inside part first because it doesn't need to be as fancy as the rest. It just needs to be covered. Right? Then the Mod Podge, when it's not watered down, can get very thick and difficult to spread very quickly. So adding this little bit of water just saves some of that frustration, I find. It has such a nice matte finish. That's why this one's my favorite. I have used Artist Varnish as well, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I just heard that Mod Podge would work, and when I saw the matte, especially the matte finish, I'm such a sucker for matte finishes. I don't like high gloss finishes on my stuff. It depends really. Like, it depends on what I'm doing and what the colors are too, but there are certain projects where I just really want a matte finish, and this matte finish from the Mod Podge is better than any matte finish than I have ever come across before. I had some Liquitex matte varnish But I accidentally mixed in some satin with it, and I never got my nice matte finish again, but it has a nice matte finish as well. But I still like the Mod Podge better. So you want to make sure you're brushing it all the way around, making sure you've got the coverage that you want. Once this dries, then I'll flip it over and I'll do the other side. We'll be good. Think you did it? Okay, I'll definitely look at it. Is Mod Podge food safe? I have no idea. Since this isn't going to be anything that's used for food, it's not something that I have worried about. But I have no idea if Mod Podge is food safe. Lazy Saturday self-care, very nice. Oh, I would love to see a picture of your floral tiles. Doesn't matter if it's the best picture, Sabrina. I'm really happy for you. That's exciting and a big accomplishment. Haven't had any issues with it yellowing over time. Now, I could also, and I probably will, also do a layer of artist varnish over it because there is no UV protection in the Mod Podge. So you can always use the Mod Podge and then put over some artist varnish. But I haven't. But granted, I've been doing this for 2 to 3 years. So I don't know what's going to happen to this stuff 10 years down the road, right? Because I'm just not there yet. Okay, we're going to need to mix some more. I have had some issues with it staying tacky. Now, what happened there, though, was I chalked that up to the situation that I was living in, and I was in a very damp living situation. So I kind of chalked it up to that. Now, I haven't had that with any of my pieces since I've moved and I'm living in a spot that is not humid the way that where I was. I think it all depends on the environment that you're in as well. Watching from Malaysia. Wow, that's so cool. Hello. How are you? Thanks for popping in to say hi and come and hang out with us. So what you decide to use for a varnish is going to depend a lot on what kind of finish you want to have. And it's going to be personal preference for what you like as far as a product itself. Like I said, I really liked the Liquitex. It went on very, very easily. I did find that it left quite a few bubbles behind, and that can lead to some cloudiness. And I do find that the Mod Podge dries a lot clearer than that. So just kind of keep that in mind, especially if you have a lot of texture, looking in between the little tiny bubbles and everything if you're using that varnish. And being prepared that you got to go over it a few times. You won't get all of the spaces the first time. We'll just let that dry, and then again I will do the bottom side. And then I am going to Michael's tomorrow, so I will probably pick myself up some new varnish, artist varnish, and then I'll do another coat with that. But you can already see how quickly this is drying, and there's no tackiness to it at all. Like, see how smooth that is? Hi, Christy. Going to see Spider-Man. Oh, yay for going to the movies. That's so good. So this one is almost done. And yeah, no tackiness here at all. Nothing's happening. I have a spot I have to fix because I got some black paint on it. So I will do those touch-ups, put a little bit more varnish over that. Then I will flip over and we're going to varnish the bottom sides and do the signatures and glue felt to the bottom. That's the final thing I do on the candle holders and the stones, is I glue felt to the bottom so that it will help protect the surfaces. Now, Again, this is not for outdoor use. This is not a ton of UV protection, okay? If you want to put these things outside, first I would recommend casting from cement instead of a gypsum plaster. These are made from a gypsum plaster, and they're designed to absorb moisture, right? And I'm not saying that it would easily break down, but I would not be wanting to take the risk. So if you're going to be making things that are going to go outside, use natural stone or cement, and the gypsum powder for things that are going to stay inside. And just give them a really good seal. And again, depending on the UV protection level that you want, take a look at your varnishes, and then between that, based on the finish, it should give you an idea of what varnish is going to be a good one for you. Hi, Bitch Mary. How you doing? It's good to see you. Day's off to a good start so far. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Missy. Thanks, Christy. So I use Mod Podge. I also really like Liquitex Artist Varnish in the matte finish. I've tried Folk Art as well, and I've tried I've got a high gloss varnish and a satin in Folk Art varnishes and in Liquitex varnishes. The Liquitex is good, but if you shake it too much before you pour it into the jar, you're going to get a ton of bubbles, and they can be a royal pain in the rear end to try and deal with. And because buildups of that varnish can cause some cloudy spots. So that's just something to keep in mind. Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing good too, honey. That's wonderful. All right. So next thing we're going to do today is we are going to finish the green mug for Miss Molly. So we've got some top dots that we're going to do. And we're going to finish off the detail on this. We're going to do the handle, and we might even do the signature too. So badly want to get into oil painting? Hi, Clean. Oh, do it then. Do it. Gotta log off and do chores. Take care of yourself. I hope your day goes really well. Never hurts to ask the questions, right, Sabrina? You never know. So yeah, I did like the Liquitex. It's more pricey, but there's always trade-offs, right? So keep in mind that with the bubbles. All right. So let me find. And I'm going to. I have to turn that down because I'm going to get kicked off for them hearing my music. Oh, and one other quick thing to show you guys. I had some technical difficulties, but I am going to have my new pattern available on my website. And this is the pattern. So you can get a 4-inch, which is just going to be here. Or you can get the 12-inch pattern, which is here. And it's a download, a digital download, so you can print it, enlarge it, the whole shebang. You cannot redistribute the pattern in any way, and you cannot teach from the pattern. However, you can absolutely, if you paint a design from one of my patterns on a mug, you can sell the mug. So I'm going to be doing a ton of patterns for the next little while. So this one will be going up later on today. Like I said, there's going to be the 4-inch version and then the 12-inch version. And then I'm going to be getting started on the next pattern and creating a whole bunch of different patterns and showing different ways to use the same pattern on different things. I think that's going to be super fun. It is very St. Patty's Day, isn't it? They're almost like little shamrocks. I'm sure you could create shamrocks with dotting. Probably, eh? Molly is definitely very lucky. That's what Google's for, Bitchy Mary. That is what Google's for, my dear. I had no idea what I needed for dot mandala painting. Google and other content creators in YouTube and see what you need and just start playing. I'm doing good, Clean. How are you doing? How was your week? All right, we're going to be doing a couple different top dots here. I've got a couple dark green dots that I have to put the mid green on. Things that had to be repaired yesterday. So they are going to be a day behind everything else on here. That's here. And then the rest that has already been painted with these top dots and top swoops, they are going to be, I'm going to get some top dots on there in the light mint green, and we're going to do top swoops on here too. Oh, we missed you too, Clean. It's good to see you. Could be a fun thing to try, eh, Christy? Hi, Zumafu. How are you, love? Not the best, but oh well. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. You made it through, though. You did that. You made it through. All right, so now on the spots that are dry, I'm going to go through and add in some top dots. This might have been a little bit of overkill, but we don't care. We don't care. We like overkill. Good, but really depressed. Oh, I'm so sorry, Zumafu. Sending you so much love. Please take care of yourself. What kind of things can you do today to help your mind? I used to sit and watch Lord of the Rings over and over and over again because as horrible as I felt, I didn't feel quite as bad when I was watching it. So you're not looking to feel good, you're looking to feel relief from where you are, right? Because sometimes going from feeling really dark or down or heavy, any of those things can be really, really tough to go from there to happy, right? It's too big of a jump. So if you can focus on the little tiny things that you can do that feel a little less shitty than how you feel, and just fill as much time like that you can with that, right? Hi, Off the Hook. How you doing, love? Oh, thank you, Zumafu. No, you didn't miss everything. We got lots going on. Lots and lots going on. I've been getting through things really fast lately. Just forget her name. Just call her Gorgeous. My name's Jamie. Yes, trying love. And that's all you can do, right? Don't try, people you say, oh, well, let's try and feel better. And here's the other thing too. It used to drive me crazy. My friends would say, well, I just want you to feel better. Why? Because you feel bad that I don't feel good? Well, it's not my responsibility to make you feel better about that. So remind yourself that it's not your responsibility to make other people feel better about what you are going through and experiencing, but it is your responsibility to do the best that you can every day and be aware of your energy and know that, hey, it's a good day. Maybe something will happen, or it's a bad day. And when it's a bad day, what can you do to make it just a little less shitty? And it's little days of doing things like that. I hate snow. Hate it. You're doing okay? Do one thing every day that makes you happy. Yes, exactly. And and it doesn't have to be anything long, right? I remember hearing Oprah say that she said she locks herself in the bathroom for 10 minutes every day because it's 10 minutes where nobody's going to bother her. If she's in the bathroom, everybody leaves her alone. I'm like, if Oprah can set aside 10 to 15 minutes a day, then why the hell can't I? Because I'm certainly not Oprah. Oh, thanks. Here's looking at you. I'm glad you like them. Grandpa's in the hospital. Oh, I'm so sorry, Clean. Audrey's doing pretty good. She's curled up on the bed right now having a nap. It's totally okay. I do everything I possibly can to try and connect usernames with real people names, and I'm always terrible at that too. So I'm with you. I'm with you, bitch Marie. So let's take all of the pressure off of each other. We don't have to remember each other's names, and if we do, then great, and if we don't, we don't. We know each other enough to spend time with each other. So let's take that pressure off of each other. Hi, Cindy. The other day, my husband said, I don't want you to feel this way. Yeah, right? I don't care if you don't want me to feel this way. That's not my problem. My problem is that I don't want to feel this way. And I'm not going to feel better just because you want me to feel better. That doesn't work that way. Doesn't work by osmosis, right? Try and focus on the things that aren't going badly. Right? If you're focusing on the negative, your mind is going to look for more that matches that vibration and that energy. If you look for negative, you're going to see more negative, right? It's just like, when your phone, you're talking about something and then your phone predicted and pulls it up on you and go, oh, wait, I was just talking about that. Or you buy a car because you think nobody has this car. This is so cool. I'm going to have something that not many people have. And then you start driving that car and everybody and their uncle has the car. It's crazy, right? Do the best that you can. But I don't like them, one of those. I'm really, and I'm also, I think I'm tired too, because every time I go outside, I layer up in a whole bunch of different layers, and I'm really excited for the day when I can just grab my purse, throw on flip-flops, and walk out the door. It's the beauty of animals, right? And cats are natural energy alchemizers, right? They are there to help transform energy and eliminate negative energy. Oh, so very loyal and loving. That's wonderful. Hi, Barb. You're welcome, Clean. Love ya. You're sweetest girl ever. Always happy being in your lives. Oh, I'm so glad when you're here. That's so kind. I try to show up every day as the person that will make me proud, and some days I suck at it. Some days I super suck at it. Some days I'm like, yeah, you were a total bitch today, and that was unnecessary. But I find sometimes there's all kinds of different things, right? You made a list with names? I keep feeling like I need to do that. I really should one of these days. Sometimes I find it the easiest when I have two different usernames, like when I know I've got an Instagram username and a TikTok username that are different that I need to keep track of. For some reason, that seems to click in my memory bank for me. So in these mugs, normally I will make them the design's a little bit larger, so they'll wrap around the sides a little bit more. But I really don't think that this needs any more. I think if I added more to this design, it would be too much. So we're just going to stick with this and then the handle. And then in about a month, this will be in the mail and on its way to Miss Molly. And last night we started 2 new mugs. We started doing a purple color grade with kind of a champagne-y silver, doing both of them on black and a white mug at the same time, same design. Kind of like we did with the mug for the relief card pull. So it is We'll probably work on that a little bit here today too once we get these top swoops and the handle done. And then the patterns will be up later today. Oh, well, miss ya. Have a good day today. Oh, my thing's not on. Crap, honeys. Yes, you're right. Yeah, the size is kind of perfect, eh? Yeah, this one came up along really, really quickly. This one's been kind of fun that way. I got the pink tulle at Dollar Tree. It came in a pack of 2. And they come in 2 different sizes. One is super, super, super sharp, and the other is really good, is a scoring tool, I believe. They're scoring and puncture tools, I think. Started about half an hour ago today, my dear. Oh, that's so kind, probably, Mom. Hi, Lori. On the mugs, I'm using multi-surface acrylic paints. You can also use enamel paints or glass paints as well. I'm going to put on my brace. Thank you for reminding me. At least I had it close by this time. I figured out what was happening is that I would wear it out of my studio and like go to the kitchen or go to the bathroom, and then I'd go to do dishes or go to wash my hands or use the washroom and realize, well, I can't be wearing this and do that at the same time. So then I'd take it off and leave it there, and then I'd be searching for it later on in the day. Scrolling back. Hi, Tammy. How you doing? Yeah, so it has this pink thing on the end. There's scoring tools and a really pointy one. And then for people who have the micro daughter that we got off of Amazon, this is how they differ. So the one on the left is definitely a pointier one. This one's a pointier than the micro daughter. So these are technically 2 sizes that are smaller than the micro daughter. Although I do find that these 2 kind of behave the same. But pretty similar. I find the really, really pointy one great for pulling paints down into swoops. I used to use a pin, a sewing pin. This one used to be one of those pins that has the little plastic ball on the end, the different colored plastic balls. I snipped it off and stuck it into a pencil eraser, and I used to use this. But lately I've been using this. So you don't have to buy these tools too, right, you guys? If you're just getting started with this, you don't have to spend a ton of money on fancy tools or anything like that. Tons of stuff from around your house. Cotton swabs, barbecue skewers, chopsticks, the end of paintbrushes, sharpened pencils, unsharpened pencils, crochet hooks. I started with crochet hooks, drill bits, so many different things. You have the super sharp one. It is super sharp too, eh? Finally helped you with your swooshing. Yay! Oh, good. You're going to stick around in diamond paint? Fantastic. All right. Well, let's keep going with these top swoops. So we're working on the top swoops around the outer edge here. So we're going to get these done today. I feel like it's been significantly more productive doing these 2-hour lives throughout the week. Never mind less stress, which I love. I am still planning on doing some marathon lives that are going to be like 6 hours long or 8 hours long or something crazy anyway. Or like 3 2-hour lives throughout the day or something like that. I haven't really decided how to do that exactly. But I went out and I bought myself little cards so I can write on the cards like, had to pee back in at 3:35 or whatever, so I can start writing that out. It's going to be kind of cool. Yes, the toolbox, totally. The microdotter better than the pin. So the microdotter, I really like it for making little tiny rows of dots like this. I really, really, really enjoy it for that. I like the pin better for grabbing the paint to pull it down to coax it into the shape of a swoop. So it depends on what I'm using it for, which one I prefer. I still have uses for both of them. But it tends to be more with the microdotter, it tends to be more the lines of the walking dots or really tiny swoops. Otherwise, this one I find works much better for pulling the paint. Oh, I'm glad that was helpful. Here's looking at you. That's good. I didn't notice at first either. I just grabbed them because I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm sure I'll be able to use them for something, one of those, and just throw it in the basket and move on. And I never looked at it. And then it was about a couple weeks ago where I looked at it. I'm like, well, son of a bitch, that's really tiny. Look at that. I had no idea. Happy Saturday to you, Tammy. I knew what she meant. It's okay. Yes, toolbox, tons of stuff in there. Screws, nails, everything, right? Crayola marker, Sharpie, paintbrush. Yes, exactly. Well, and that's the beauty. You can do all of that different stuff. Any advice on walking dot fans? How so? What issues are you having? Maybe swooshing just may get better. I've been using the bigger one. Yeah, this one's really nice because it gets really, really fine in there. It's a clay sculpture tool, hon. I think that there's a link on the Facebook group maybe as well. It's a clay sculpture tool. It comes in a pack of 2, I believe. Oops. Mm-hmm. It's nice and sunny here. It's deceiving today, though. It's still really cold. It reminds me of the times that I have been out in Winnipeg where it was super, super sunny and minus 52 outside, Barb. I looked at him like, ooh, that's a Winnipeg sky today. They're not consistent. They look muted. Okay, so the biggest thing that I would tell you for that, so if you're talking like these here, start by maybe trying to do your peak dots a little farther out and maybe one size larger than the tool that you used going down here. If they all kind of look big and kind of muddy together and get muddled together, try using a little less paint and slow way down when you're walking the dots. I hope that that makes sense. I believe they're still here. Oh, thank you, Lucy. That's so kind. It's a paper piercer. There you go. The super sharp one, eh? Thanks, honeys. All right, we've got 4 more of these to do. Then we are going to do the handle. Oh, and I see a couple spots that I missed along the way, so we're going to have to open up the other paint here too. Whoop. I've been throwing stuff around a lot. Okay. Get her blood checked out. So if you're having issues with depression, to make sure you get your blood work checked out as well, in case. Never hurts to consult somebody like that just to make sure that there isn't something nutritionally going wrong or anything, right? Because you never know what might be going on. Maybe there's nutrient deficiencies. There's all kinds of stuff like that. Now, they might have already gone through all of that stuff. Who knows? However, if you do, make sure that you are consulting a physician to make sure that there's nothing medically going on as well. Well, and I believe they counter-cause each other, right? Stress causes illness, and then the illness causes further stress, and that causes further illness, and they feed off of each other, and they all interact, right? Everything's connected. Thank you, Dar. If you have three symptoms for more than 3 to 5 weeks, well, and that's the heart, and that's the thing too, right? You want to make sure that you are getting proper diagnosis, and you want to ask questions and make sure you have someone that can help you. Hi, Jana. My understanding has always been that you can have bouts of depression, and then there is chronic or clinical depression. But I don't honestly know enough about it. I've never been good at going to doctors, so it's definitely important to check your blood levels and different micronutrients and all of that sort of stuff too. And just to make sure that hormone levels, and there's so many different things, right, that can be going on there. And I don't know the difference, and I don't know that it really matters, right? Because everything has the potential to turn in something long term. I think the treatment methods and the support can be a little bit different depending on what the situation is. But I think that should really be catered to every individual situation anyways as well, right? Am I right? Okay, that's good. You sneak in when no one's looking at you, you little lurker. All right, so we've got a couple other little top dots that need to be done over here. Actually, I can probably do those right now. And then the front of this mug will be done. Now we do the handle. I'm really happy with this one. What do you think? But this is called a depressive mood swing. That makes total sense. Doctors only check thyroid lab, but women still need all 3 labs. Good to know. Good to know. I see you lurking. All right, so we're going to do the handle here. This is the key. If your body naturally comes out of the depression or swing, you're okay. And that's the thing. And sometimes you need help, right? And that's going to oscillate depending on what's happening in your body, what's happening in your circumstances, what's in your environment, and all. There's so many things that are going to contribute to that. And I think the biggest thing that makes sense to me anyway, and please forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, is the self-awareness. Right? Being able to look and say, this is not how I want to feel anymore, and asking for help. And it's not a self-awareness that's lacking if you aren't at that point either. That's not how I mean it. I mean, there's that level of that self-awareness is easier to hear. I kind of picture it as a voice in the back of my head. Right? And it's easier to hear on some days than others. And there's days when I actively choose not to listen to it. And I think that's the biggest one that I mean by when I'm talking about self-awareness is when I'm choosing not to listen to it. And then there is the times where there's no choice involved, right? And that's where there's so many different levels of assistance and support that really needs to be out there. It's absolutely amazing. I had thyroid nodules for 15 years and doc said it was fine. 1 year ago, I had to go through radiation. Oh my gosh. Tested all 3. Wow, that's crazy, Lisa. Did I miss a swoop? Did I? Whoop. Oh. Where did I miss a swoop? Did I? If anybody sees it, let me know. Because I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dar. Thank you, Jana. Hi, Teresa. Thank you. Thanks, Barb. There's all, yes, seasonal affective disorder, right? Like, as much as I don't like the cold and the winter, I would much rather have the weather I have here than the weather living in BC. I couldn't handle the gray and the rain. I would find that really, really difficult. I have days like this, or again, I think about being in Winnipeg where it's super cold, but you still have to wear your sunglasses. And that's, you think of all these different things, right? Nope, just a lighter one on the left side. Oh, okay. Just lighter? Okay, awesome. That's okay. What'd you get for a snack? Here we are, the therapy crafting again. I know, right? This is what we do. We create, we help each other with whatever it is that we're struggling with. And we have these conversations. And it is therapy, you know. That's such a really good point, because I know from my experience, this art form saved my life. Not a doubt. So there's so much to all of this, right? It's not just about making pretty things. It's not just about, there's so much to all of this. So much. All right, we're going to, whoop. Jeez, Jamie. So again, this mug is going to our lovely friend, Miss Molly Mallrocks. I owe her a new mug, so this is going to be it. Teresa, yes, I do sell my work. I've got a link in my bio if you want to check out my stuff. Cheese and crackers. Oh, I love that. Yes, your vitamin D, right? And that's the thing, and being aware and knowing that and saying, hey, maybe this is affecting me in a certain way, so maybe I need to look for some kind of a tool to help me at this particular time. And I think that that's another thing that we all have to kind of come to at some point too, is understanding, why are we not going and asking for help? Is it because we haven't found someone that we trust? Is it we haven't found somebody with the same beliefs and values that we want to work with, and that kind of piles into trust? Or is it that we are afraid we're going to get ridiculed by people around us? And so what comes with it as well is such a huge test in, you've got to care about yourself enough. And that's not something that we're taught to do. I certainly wasn't. I was taught that that's selfish. I think there's so much that plays into all of it. And I think it just makes it that much more apparent that it just needs to be such individualized conversations for each person. There's so many different things. It very well might be, yeah, because this light metallic mint green doesn't pick up too much. It kind of... it kind of picks up that light, especially on the white background, right? I know. I'll go to BC in the summer, but I wouldn't be able to do that. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thanks, Dar. Thank you, Mrs. Obella, sorry. That's so kind of you for the rose. Thank you. This is so cute. I love cheese and crackers. I always get marble cheese and the cracked pepper and olive oil Triscuits. Gotta go back to your hook. Bye, Kat. Love you. They do look better in person, don't they? I would agree with that. Partly because some of them, I just don't know how to take good pictures of these things. I really don't. I'm really trying to figure that out, of how to take decent pictures of these, especially the white mugs. I'm really struggling with the white mugs. I don't know what to do. I'm going to have to try and figure out some different kind of background for my photos, but we'll see. I have to share my story soon. But how and where do I share? TikTok is a good place for that if you treat it just kind of like a video journal. If you like writing, depends on what form you want to express it in. I believe the patient knows something is wrong. Oh, 100%, honey. I agree for sure. Triscuits and orange cheese slices. Nice. Medium cheddar's good. I agree with you, honeys. I think Molly's going to like this one. She's going to be happy. I haven't tried that yet. And I definitely will give that a shot. That's a good idea. Photo boxes. I have a photo box. The problem is that the photo boxes that I've found anyway, tend to be so that I put it in the box and then I have to take a picture straight on, right? Or from up above. And that's where I think the fabric might come in handy, because I got to find a way to kind of hold it up somehow. So because I paint opposite the handle, like I was looking at Delicate Dots Andrea's photos of her mugs, and because she paints on this side, she can lay the mugs down like this and take photos of them, which would work in a photo box because the opening in the photo box is either in the front this way or up above. And when it's a big item like this in the photo box, it creates a lot of shadow down here, so I've never been able to get good color down here. And if I lay it this way, then I need to be able to maybe do that, but I'd have to hold the mug. I think I'd have to put my own hand in there and hold the mug like this in order to get a decent photo of it with a photo box. But I'm going to try a few different things and I'll see what I can figure out. I use, I buy the Bristol board and the foam core Bristol board. And I made like a kind of a huge photo box. And then I have a placemat that looks like it's got wood underneath it, and that's what I set it on. And then I use a piece of white Bristol board in the background to kind of look like the white wall. But I gotta figure something out there. I was going to say set the white mugs on a darker colored piece of construction paper. When I did that, when I did the darker colored construction paper, when I did black, it all looked gray. It looked gray and washed out. I've never found anything that was a solid enough color that it would look good. It's one of the reasons I was actually thinking of getting some fabric to hang in behind the mug and then using like white on the, or like white marble or something countertop or even wood on the bottom and then having dark fabric in the background. My friend that does tumblers has a white box and black box that she does her photos in. Right, but finding something black that's not going to look chalky, right? I need it to still look black. So I think I like the idea of painting. Maybe I can get something where I can, I wonder if I could if I use like a shoebox size or, those photo boxes that you can get at the dollar store that hold like the 4x6 photos. The photo storage boxes. Maybe I can get one of those, cut a slit on the back, paint the inside of it with the black gesso, and that might be an option. I could try that. Shows Audrey got to keep the therapy cat healthy too, totally. And I try to spend a lot of time with her, giving her lots of love to try and keep her happy and help her get rid of any of the negative energy that she alchemizes for me. I don't know. I don't understand, Kelly. What do you mean? A cloth over foam while I'm painting? If I can find a decent piece of fabric that won't look chalky and gross in the background, then yes, I could do all of those things. Foam in a box with fabric that matches the box. I'm sorry, I'm not understanding any of these ideas. I have a cup holder. I have a cup holder for while I'm painting. But I can't turn this into something that I can use in a photo. It seems like that sounds like so much trouble to me when I could just hold it. But I still have to find something that I can put in the background that is not going to look choppy, or I'm going to have to get some kind of photo editing app where I can remove the background. I have a white cat and live in the dustiest apartment ever. I won't be able to do velvet, unfortunately. I have a cup holder, so I don't need another one. I'm sorry, I'm really, really confused. Getting something to hold it isn't the issue. It's finding the background where I can have it held at the light and still get a decent background, right? And because I live in a super dusty apartment and I have a white cat where there's hair everywhere, a black fabric background is probably going to cause me way more headaches than it's going to solve for me. Black paper, black Bristol board, black cardboard, black construction paper all looks really chalky. So I have to try and figure out something else. My velvet outfit is covered in white cat hair and lint. I'm never going to be able to keep that clean. Never in a million years. So I'm going to have to play around with it and see what I can come up with. I might have to do a photo editing app to remove the background because I don't think it's going to work. Anything fabric is going to be covered in dust and cat hair. So maybe some of these ideas might be good for you guys. I hope. I know you're not trying to force me to do anything. I just feel like I have the same answer for a lot of the things that are coming up. But maybe they'll be good for you guys. If you guys are selling some stuff, maybe some of these ideas are good for you guys. I haven't found a dark background yet that doesn't look chalky or messy in behind a white mug. And unfortunately, fabric is going to cause the same problem. Is high gloss black not going to reflect the light from any light that I shine on it? I'm worried about that. I know you're not trying to force me to do anything. I apologize. I didn't mean this big of a discussion. It was just meant to be a quick talking point. There's nothing that needs to be fixed here. I'm worried about anything shiny in the background as well, because anything shiny is going to reflect light back to me and I'll end up with more of this crap in behind it, right? All right, so these are the two mugs that are the same color, same design, just on different color mugs. So we're doing a white one and a black one at the exact same time. Oh, yay, Jenny. I'm so glad you love it. That sounds like so much more work than I ever can get into it right now. Anything that's going to have anything that can reflect back is going to be an issue, right? And I'm going to need time to look at different options to see what I can actually afford and what is something that's going to be worth the time investing into it, right? And that's the hard part. Right now, it's not going to further my business. It's just one of those things that's on the back of my mind that I need to deal with at some point. It's certainly not a high priority thing right now, and I appreciate all of the suggestions. I really do. They all make a lot of sense in certain situations, and maybe some of them will make more sense for my situation as I get going. But I haven't had any luck as of yet, and it's not something that needs to be fixed right now. When I get to a point where it's slowing down my business, then that's something that I'll worry about. But until then, my business is not slowing down because of that. So that might be stuff that I'll be able to spend more time on at another time. Audrey's doing good. Audrey's doing really good. She's curled up on the bed having a nap now. Wish your candle holder. Why would I be mad at you, Clean? Black hole. Yeah, that would be good. I have to be at a point where it's worth the effort that it's going to take to do all of that stuff. Right? And that's always the hard part. That's always the hard part, is when am I going to have the attention span, the time, and the funds to be able to do something like that, right? And everything has to go through that filter. It's okay, Clean. Pattern's good. I had a lot of technical issues this morning. I spent about, I've been on the computer since around 8:30 this morning trying to get it figured out. And it's one thing after another right now. I'm still hoping that the pattern will be listed today. I'm hell-bent on it. Right now I'm waiting for a software update to go through so that I can actually move on to the next step. So we'll see what happens. Sorry guys, I'm realizing now that I was super triggered by that because just you know when you recognize one of your triggers and you know that it has nothing to do with the situation that caused you to actually realize it, but with old stories and stuff like that. Oh yeah, she'll have the donut on it for a long time. Using tile samples? I don't know what you mean. I'm realizing now, like, do you ever have that moment where you realize, like, hey, I was triggered by something, right? And again, not because there was anything about the actual situation that was a problem, but because it just brought up something from before or from an old story or an old pattern. And I think where I feel that happening is that how this one's a big one. This one feels really, really big. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to verbalize it, but it's a big one. I can tell because my body's reacting to letting go of this old belief system that I've got hanging on. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to verbalize that. I think I need to kind of sit with that one a little bit. No, I it's different. Well, and I'm so sorry to hear about that, Kelly, and that's so hard, and I hope that you have lots of support and love in your life to help with all of that sort of stuff. And I think that, you know, we just, as we're growing, for me anyway, when as I'm learning and kind of coming to new awarenesses and coming to new conclusions about why I do the things the way I do and why I've done them the way that I've done them for so long, is, yeah, I don't know. I think I've oscillated in environments from where I'm expected to tell everything about everything that I'm thinking, and that hiding something is not an option because that's being secretive and manipulative, to sharing stuff and questioning your ability to communicate because people are getting something completely different from the conversation. And again, it's not because of a specific conversation. It's because something happens and it feels similar to something that's happened in the past. And sometimes we put those assumptions on the situation that we're in, right? And say, this feels familiar enough, so it must be just like that situation, so this needs to be my reaction, right? Even if logically you can look at it and say, those situations are actually nothing alike. And don't even represent the same thing, you know? And it can sometimes get to the point where the number of things and that are popping into your head are such a high number, you know, like there's so many things popping in there. So I do apologize because I totally get, I totally understand now, Clean, why you asked if I was mad at you and mad at everybody. And I do apologize because that was not my intent. I was trying to deal with the things that were popping up in my head at the same time as answer questions and try to communicate what I was thinking and feeling about that particular subject without really touching base with where I'm coming from. So it immediately switched to a defensive thing. And even though that wasn't necessary, do you know what I mean? I tend to go on the defensive quite a bit. Yeah, I tend to go on the defensive quite a bit, a lot more than I thought. And there's a bunch of things I think that are tied into that I don't really know that I want to unpack right now. But sometimes you have these moments and you're like, why did that bother me? Because it didn't bother me. Like, under any circumstance, it's not a situation that would ever bother me, right? But so that means that I had some kind of old behavior and thought pattern that was super active during whatever, right? And that is something that I have to pay attention to, because just because something feels the same doesn't mean it's the same situation, that the same things need to be employed. Do you know what I mean? And so again, I really apologize because that was not my intent to get my back up or go on the defensive or be irritated or anything like that. That really wasn't my intention. And I also understand that saying that I didn't mean it that way is a shit apology. Because I think but I'm saying this because I want you to know that I'm trying to evaluate it in my head and learn and acknowledge what I'm thinking and feeling. So again, as always, thank you for letting me talk through this. I don't know if I have that as background. Sometimes someone's having texture behind makes it easier to work with lighting wise. Who knows at this point? That's the thing. No, there's nothing, and it's totally okay, Clean. There's nothing bad about this, right? It's always a positive thing when I find, for me anyway, it is always a positive thing when I recognize something and it gives me a new filter to look at my emotions and look at my actions through. So it's never anything to do, ever anything that is needs an apology, and I appreciate that. That's so incredibly kind. What's your birthday colors? The purples? No, and I know that. I think I wasn't ready for the ideas to be thrown at me. I think it was just I was just talking, and I didn't intend to turn it into a situation where I had to provide more information. Because in my head, it wasn't something that needed to be addressed at this particular point. And it made me just go, why are you talking about this? Because this isn't even important right now. I was just talking and I wasn't thinking about that. Wanting to have my daughter for me to truly get help. And that's so wonderful thing. It's such a wonderful thing, right? It's to be able to recognize that motivation and to know why you're doing what you're doing. And because you want to be a better version of you when you show up, you know? And I apologize. I did not mean to be tense with you guys. That was not, I always think it's a good thing to learn something new about myself, about why I do the things that I do. And what are those patterns that are running, I've been allowing to run my behavior for so long, right? I don't want to do that anymore. It's another one of the things that I've learned because of this art form, is that I don't want to do that. I don't want to just go on automatic. I want to think and act and decide deliberately. And maybe that was the thing that bothered me, is because I was just talking and wasn't really being deliberate with what I was saying, that was the part that felt yucky. You know, there's just so many things. There's so many things that are all about the way that I have viewed the world, the way that I am trying to learn to view the world, and the ways that I'm trying to learn to view myself. And that was one of the biggest things when I realized, you know, that this is all me. This is all my responsibility, right? I can choose what I'm going to think about. And again, it doesn't apply for everybody, but I know what works for me, and that's what does work for me, is to remind myself that I can choose how I'm going to act, what I'm going to say, and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm really not having a hard, I'm really, really understanding how I would benefit from practicing communication in a lot of different ways. Because I still go back to those old survival techniques, right? Your body remembers, yes. Oh, I bet, Kelly. Oh, totally. And the internet makes it so difficult. Oh, no, Zumafu, you have to do it. No, I know, but it's not who I want to be. Again, that's what it comes down to. It's not who I want to be. I don't want to live on the defensive. I don't want to live feeling the way that felt. And nobody did that to me. Nobody made me feel that way, right? And it was a reminder of a way I'd felt in a different situation in the past, not because the situation itself was anything to even be, paying attention to, really. Don't sleep good because you're, oh no. Do you wear the brace or compression gloves ever at night, Zumafu? I did wear the brace once overnight, and it did seem to make a difference, but I don't know if that's something that lasts very long or not. I appreciate it, you guys, and thank you again for letting me kind of talk through it all. I think when I know that it's something that I need to learn more about before I can even begin my own research, I feel like in this time I got myself into a conversation that I wasn't ready for yet. I started a conversation that I was not ready for yet. I was not ready for solutions. I wasn't ready to give it any more thought. And that's what I want to be aware of, right? Because I want to be deliberate about that sort of stuff. Or at least more deliberate about that sort of stuff. And thank you, Anne. After I was about halfway through the second row of walking dots in the dark purple on the white mug, where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing both of these at the same time. Yeah, this is just a rhetorical question. Or I can just keep my mouth shut. That works too. I haven't ever sold anything in sets up to this point. So they'll both be listed on my website, but I will not likely make them have to go as a set. Well, and that's the danger in all of this too, right? Because I'm just sitting here and talking, right? And these are conversations that I would have with myself if I was sitting here by myself. And I have to remind myself that I'm not just talking to myself. There are people out there who are loving and kind and want to offer advice and want to offer support and help and suggestions and share their knowledge too, right? And that is always something that I will be grateful for. Did it? The volume went down? That's weird. Oh my gosh, you know what it is? I posted a video the other day about me doing the sacred geometry pattern, the seed of life, on a stone because I couldn't get guidelines on a mug. And this is why. Okay, see, things all start to make sense. And I remember I've been sitting here for the last 2 days reading comment after comment after comment about things that I could use for guidelines on my mugs. And I even went back and listened to the video. I'm like, why is this a problem? I'm understanding now. I've had to rein myself in 150. Kids are always okay, Google. Love you, Christy. Yeah, I'm always talking out loud to myself. Oh my God, yep, I totally understand it now. Totally understand it now. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Ooh. I love these purples. Okay. So we're using these 2 mugs for the card pull for practice. The card prompt was practice. People are starting to get their Dot Mandala inspiration decks in the mail. The first batch went out. I was able to send 29 of them out. The remaining 30 that are on their way to me is stuck in Tennessee, so hopefully it will be on its way to me beginning of next week. All right, let's just sink into this for the next 15-20 minutes. I'm done talking for a little while, I think. I don't know that there's a list compiled in the Facebook group. I apologize. I don't know if that is in there. I want to say that there are some spots that list that stuff, but I apologize. I don't know for sure. And I can't check for you right now. Well, maybe I can. Hold on. Okay. I'm just going to put this here for a sec, just so it's not a blank screen. What am I looking for? Friends. Groups. So let's see. Topics, maybe? Tutorials. Supplies. It's almost like there's too many topics in here. I think we've got one for supplies in the group if you go under topics. And I'm just going to look. Just looking to see if there's any albums or anything with it. I was kind of hoping there would be a spot with some I was kind of hoping that there would be a spot. Oh, there we go. There is also a dotting tools. No, that's not helping me because that's searching all groups. I obviously know nothing about how to run a Facebook group, so I'm not sure. I'll take a look though. I am in the process of filming and taking a bunch of photos to create some Instagram highlights of that sort of stuff. So hopefully that will help. Yeah, Kathy might have one. Love you, Anne. Sending you lots of love. Sorry about that, Kelly. Crazy that we've got 2,100 people in the Facebook group now. That's on my list of things to do as well. Is make more of an effort to be more active in the groups that I'm involved in. I'm going to be going live next Thursday on Christina Lee's Facebook group. I'm just going to paint and answer questions, that sort of stuff. So if you're around and want to hang out, I'll be posting the event in her group later today. So crazy how different this looks from one color to the next. Hey James, how you doing, love? I'm gonna be here for about another half hour, and then I will post the schedule for the rest of the week at some point tomorrow. I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be yet, but we will figure it out. I think it's going to be mostly, I'm going to try and get 1 or 2 afternoon lives. But I think it's going to be mostly evening lives. Oh, thanks, Patty. Do I ever do stones with a paw print? Well, I do. Let me show you one. I have this one that's ready. I'm going to send it to a friend of mine. I just need to put the felt on the bottom. It's going to be a memorial for her pup. It's one of the things that I used to do all of the time. I used to do all these all the time, and I called them paw nuggets. I started off doing ones with hearts, and I called them love nuggets on a bunch of little stones, and then I started doing the paw prints, and called them paw nuggets. I have some artwork that I've done digitally, where I actually took the paw print from my dog Ranger that passed away, and it is the center dot. So any of the items that are on my Redbubble store that have the mandala with the paw print in the middle, and then there's going to be a bunch of those that are going to show up on my website soon too. It's actually a tracing of his paw print that I got after he passed away. I'm going to blow my nose. Cover your ears. So sorry, you guys. Thanks, Patty. Thank you, Norma Jean. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Aw, thanks, honeys. Oh, and thank you for the bless you, James. It's so kind. So I've got a couple. I want to see let's see if I've got any more of these on my website. I thought I still had a couple left over, but let's see what I've got. Otherwise, I should gather up some of those photos and see some of the old ones that I've done. Let's go paw. Oh, so here's ones that I've done. I've got some stickers on my website as well. So I did that one once. And that one, I did that one a long time ago. That one was fun. And then I've got 2 different stickers that are on my website right now that are like a holographic sticker and a rainbow holographic sticker. And this is actually Ranger's paw print in the middle. I really want to get back into doing the paw stones again. See, this is a stone, though, that was varnished with a satin finish. And see how it has just enough shine that it really just doesn't do too well? Do the blue one. It's been quite a while since I've done any paw print stuff. But this one was one of my favorites. I don't think I ever had. Oh, and then I did some other digital work where I've got to add these into my shop, but I did things like that and made them into like note cards and stuff. I've got to add all of those into the website. I've got pillowcases and all kinds of stuff there. So yeah, doing the paw print is definitely something that I want to do, and maybe I'll make that into one of the patterns too. All right, so let's take, I've got one more row to do of these purple dots, one more half petal, I should say, and then we can take a look at these 2 side by side. All right. Thanks, Janice. So there they are, the two of them side by side. Exactly the same design. Exactly the same color. Exactly the same sizes. Just painted on a different color mug. So that's where we're at so far. I think it looks pretty neat. I'm really happy with them so far. All right, so let's do some top dots because we've got some top dots to do on here. So let's do top dots. Hi, Audrey. What are you doing? What are you doing, Audrey? I've got the blinds closed and she's not happy. She's not happy. Audrey, what's the problem? What's the problem, Cranky Pants? Meh. Meh. All right, so which one are we going to use? We're going to use this one. And we're going to add some top dots. Oh, thank you, little bomb. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so we're going to do, this is going to be layer 1 of 2 for top dots. And everywhere on this piece where there are large dark purple, I'm going to do these top dots to try and create some dimension in there. The black is always gives you a little extra punch, eh? The white ones are pretty, but just not quite the same. I want to spend some time working with the white mugs and figure out how I can make them punch as well. And I think my suspicion is that I need to not do quite as much fine detail. Like I think a pattern more like the yellow candle holder might do better on a white mug where there's just chunkier bits of color, and then maybe play with top dots and little tiny bits of detail around it for fun, but really get a little more big and chunky and a little less fine work. I don't know. That's just the theory I have right now. It's definitely something I want to play around with and see what I can figure out. I want to play around with the bottles too. I want to put some of the multi-surface paints in the bottles that I got from Dot Art Depot and see if I can't create some mandalas on mugs with those too. That would be pretty cool. These will be for sale. They will go up on my website sometime in the next couple of weeks. I do have some mugs that are up on my website right now and that are available if you want to check them out. I think I have 6 or 7 of them that are on the website right now. I'll just show you a couple of them that we've got. Just pulling up my website here. Purple's your favorite. Bolder neon colors, yeah. So like ones like this. Yes, really nice and bright ones. That'll look really good. I've got these squeeze bottles that have these different size tips that you can squeeze out, kind of like henna. So the stuff that I have now, I've added some new things in my imperfects. So there's a few mugs that are $25. They're quite big, 16-ounce mugs. That's an imperfect. And then we've got these ones that are all on there. See what I mean? Like, we'll get there. for now, this is what I'm doing for the white mugs. I'm trying to cool them down with other things, but then it doesn't look good in my feed. And then there's a couple other mugs that are available there. And another one there. I think there might even be a couple others. Necklaces, necklace pendants. There's a couple other mugs that are there as well that have been marked down to 25 bucks each. So there's a bunch that are there, some of my new ones and some of my older ones, and then it's probably going to be another 2 to 3 weeks or so till I get the until I get more ready for the shop. Today's priority is all about getting the pattern ready to go. So once the pattern is ready, I will be listing that later today. Once this paint dries that I'm putting on here, then I will be going in to do another layer of top dots in the metallic mauve to really brighten it up, just like I did the metallic mauve on those first couple there. So Dot Art Depot has these sets of bottles. They're plastic bottles that you can get that have these different size tips that very much make it kind of squeeze painting out of these bottles. I'll show you one of the designs that I did. I played around with it on some wood cutouts. So I'll show you one of the ones that I did that I would like to try to recreate, and I think it would be really cool to be able to maybe recreate it on a mug. So we'll see how that works. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to do some more, I'm going to do more silver swoops. I'm going to do some small silver swoops here. So I mixed some espresso brown with some pearl white in the Craft Smart, and it came up with, excuse me, this really pretty champagne color. I had really wanted a new champagne color. I had one from Martha Stewart, but look at all the bubbles in it, right? So there's going to be lots of bubbles to deal with on that. So you want to make sure you've got something very sharp that you can have handy to pop any bubbles when you're dealing with paint like that, and or tap it on the table a bunch. How you doing, Audrey? You find a spot? Can you tell where Audrey is? Yeah, it is pretty. The white mugs are definitely really pretty, but there's something about the black ones that just, whoo. I want to try the cones too. I think I'm gonna get some of the cones from Electric Mandala, Lucy Prosper, because she sells them. I think that would be. I think they seem like fun, don't you think? Oh, thank you, Shauna. Oh, sorry. Yes, Audrey's my cat. Sorry. I should have said that. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to... Hi, Audrey. Now she's under my chair. So I've got my my tool handy to pop bubbles. There we go. That's where you got yours too? That's cool. No, the idea of making my own cones does not sound even the tiniest bit fun. Not even a little bit. Purple color fans in here. Yep, no kidding, right? Yeah, she's pretty amazing, my little Audrey. She's pretty cool. Oh, why did that go to sleep? She is pretty darn cool. I never anticipated enjoying having a cat as much as I enjoy having her around. All right, so that's... Oh, got some bubbles in this one. This is another spot where the really sharp tool from Dollar Tree comes in handy. If you find that your bubbles aren't popping, make sure you dry off your tool. It'll break the surface tension across the top of the bubbles and allow the paint to start to backfill in on itself. Yes, this will be going up on my website in another couple of weeks. I might be able to get a shop update gathered and ready for next Saturday. I usually do them on Saturdays. I might be able to get one gathered up for next Saturday, but I doubt it, so let's assume the Saturday after. I'll play it by ear anyway. So what else is up for your Saturdays today, you guys? What's everybody up to? I will be plopping my butt in front of the computer until I can figure out this product listing issue for myself. All right, we're moving on because I'm tired of fighting with that bubble. Make sure I purchased all surface. It does. It's a lot thicker, eh? I'll never be with... I won't anymore either. They're wonderful. I had no idea. I really didn't. I had no idea. I'd only ever experienced cats like through my friends and stuff. I never, ever would have predicted it being as wonderful as it is to have her around. I'm so glad. So glad she's here. I've always considered myself a dog person. And now I can see myself. I love dogs. Always love puppies. They make the world a better place. But until I'm financially equipped and with the proper home and stuff, I don't see myself having another dog anytime soon. And having her is just an absolute perfection. I love how much my mom loves her too, and Mom has always been very, I don't like cats. Soaked up a lot of tears, right? Yeah. Yeah. She's not happy that the blinds are closed. Can you tell? She is not happy that the blinds are closed. Plus, of course, she still has the stuffed donut on her neck, right? So she gets stuck on everything. She tries to walk under stuff. She gets stuck because the hoodie gets in the way. I really wish that she'd stop scratching, but no luck yet. Oh, you're allergic, Cindy? Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I'm so sorry. I often wonder how Audrey would do with, like, orphaned kittens. I've always thought, I'm like, I wonder if someday if I foster kittens, I wonder what Audrey would do with that. Like, I wonder if she would like it. Or if she would eat them. Like, I don't know what she would do. Remember I said that to somebody and they're like, that sounds all great. Where are you going, Audrey? You frustrated? You all right? They said, that sounds all wonderful, but when the hell are you going to do this? When the hell are you going to deal with foster kittens and do everything else? I'm like, I don't know. Sounds like a good idea, though. Someday. Someday. Audrey's talking to me, sorry. Alright, we'll see if any of those bubbles pop out. You can always go back over checking to see if there's spots where the bubbles have gotten closer to the surface and might be able to be popped, but I also used to like to use a really sharp toothpick for this because the wood was almost always dry, so it would pop the bubbles really easily. Let's see. Let me tell you, the day that Martha Stewart starts selling her paints again. Ooh, baby. I will be on it. That's why I now have Yorkies. Yes. You could hear her banging around. She moved the cat tree the other day. I'm like, look at she's like world's strongest man pulling a truck behind her. All right, you guys. So I don't know when I'm going to be live again. I will be live at some point on Monday. I just don't know the timing. Keep an eye on social media, and I will definitely post the schedule and let you know where I will be. I'm going to add the events into my Facebook page and group as well. And just know that the title of the event on Facebook will tell you where I'm going live, whether it's here on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook. Oh, this looks so cool. Look at you. That looks great. Still a few decks available. If you want to order a Dot Mandela Inspiration deck, there's still a few decks available on my website. They still show as a pre-order, but that's just because the inventory hasn't all arrived yet. But I do have a few extra decks, so if you're looking for one, they are still there. Why did she stop banging around? Because she went into the other room, and I'll show you. I'll show you exactly why. You ready? You're going to see a dirty tissue and a mess, but let's show you. This is what she did. This is why she stopped banging around, because she went into this room to do this. Did you hear her? Audrey, what are you doing? Audrey. Yeah. That's why she stopped banging around. God, I love her. So yeah, the pattern will be up later today. Please send me some positive energy that I will be able to get this figured out and get this resolved and get it listed. Again, thank you for always being a safe space for me to explore the thoughts that are going on in my head, even when I don't fully understand what is happening inside of my head, and for being patient and loving and supporting and putting up with me when I'm crabby. I love you and I appreciate you, and everything is fine. We are all going to continue to get through what we're going through, and we're going to keep going so that we can eventually feel the relief of just being, just existing and thriving. And we can be here to love each other through the whole way. And so please know that I'm sending you guys lots and lots of love. I'm glad that you feel it when I send it out. And I definitely feel it when you send it back to me. So again, thank you for everything that you guys do. I love you. All right. I'm going to pop a couple more bubbles here. See if I can get a couple more of these swoops done, and then we'll sign off. Thank you guys. No, Martha is not coming back at all. I know we can't now. I miss it. You finish this swoop and then I'll show you again next to the white, because it's going to be a pretty big difference this time. Come on. There we go. The difference is it's going to be kind of big. Bye, Janice. Lots of love. Fur baby just passed this week. Shoot me an email, James. We'll figure it out, or shoot me a message on Instagram or somewhere, and we will get it taken care of. Okay? You send me a message, and we will make it happen for you. I would love to do one for you. Okay? So you shoot me a message, and we will get that taken. We'll get it on the docket. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you again so much for coming and hanging out. And I will look forward to seeing you again in a couple of days. Please take care of yourselves. And if there's anything I can do to help you before we hang out again live, please don't hesitate to reach out. Love you guys. Bye.